Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we'll be revising questions of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles. So let's start the video. What was the duration of the First World War? It was from 1914 to 1918, almost 4 years. Second question, how many countries participated in the First World War? So many would think that A would be the correct answer, but no, it's actually C, 86 countries. All of these countries were located around the world. So you could say that the reason why it was called World War because of its impact, not only in Europe, but around the world. Third question, which of the following was not a cause of the First World War? So division of Europe was a cause, nationalism and mutual rivalry was a cause, and Balkan issue was also a cause. So the correct answer in this case would be D, all of the above. Now there's a fault over here, which of the following was not a cause of the First World? This shouldn't be not. It should just be a cause. So which of the following was a cause of the First World War? All of these is the correct answer. Fourth question, which of the following can be regarded as the cause for the First World War? European powers becoming more ambitious about annexing overseas territories, alliances encouraging the armament race or simply the arms race. So C would be the correct answer for the fourth question. Fifth, which of the following statements is correct regarding nationalism in the 19th century? This was an era of narrow and militant nationalism. Nationalism in this era became competitive and aggressive. Nationalism was taking the shape of chauvinism, so D would be the correct answer. Let's move on to the sixth question. Which of the following statements is correct regarding militarism and armament race prior to the First World War? Okay, so let's look at the correct answer. It would be D, all of the above. Let's read the options. This was the period of growing militarism in Europe. Narrow nationalism, economic competition, and international tension were the reasons behind growing militarism. In order to protect herself, Africa started manufacturing ships. This is wrong. Africa did not start manufacturing ships, it was Germany that started manufacturing ships to protect the colonies in Africa. Seventh question, which of the following was the reason behind the direct clash of Germany with the other colonial powers? So the correct answer in this case would be C. Now let's look at the above options. So the A1, Germany had surpassed other European nations in industrial production and thus wanted more share in the world market. B, Germany wanted to have more colonies in order to increase its share in the world market. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Which of the following countries were known to have built colonies by the end of the 19th century? So I'll just let the option. I'll just read the options because the option B and C aren't visible. So, anyways, the correct answer in this case would be D. Now, the countries that are listed over here that aren't visible in the screen is A is of course Britain, B is Holland, C is Portugal, C is Portugal, and D is all of these. So D would be the correct answer. Ninth question, in which of the following regions Russia had expansion plans? So B would be the correct answer, Ottoman Empire. Because at that point of time, in the 19th century, Ottoman Empire was known as the sick man of Europe. Sick man in the sense it was near on the verge of collapse and it was there was a danger of disintegrating. So after World War, Ottoman Empire collapsed. So that's why Russia had expansion plans in Ottoman Empire because it knew that Ottoman Empire was at the end of its overall reign in the Middle East, especially Turkey. So that's why it wanted to have some control over Ottoman Empire. 10th, which of the following statements are correct regarding the negative role played by the media prior to the First World War? So, in order to increase their sales, the media poisoned public opinion by presenting views in an absurd manner. They had created a hostile propaganda which had created an atmosphere of doubt, distrust, and tension, which proved harmful to world peace. So, in this case, the correct answer would be C. 11th question, which of the following countries was not a part of the Triple Entente? So, the correct answer will be D. Germany was a part of a Triple Alliance. 12th, which of the following countries was a part of the Triple Alliance of 1882? So, D would be the correct answer. 13th question, in which year the dual alliance was formed between Germany and Australia? So remembering the date is extremely important. So B would be the correct answer, 1879. 14th question, in which year Italy entered the First World War? So it entered First World War in 1915, but it fought against Germany and Austria-Hungary. So therefore, the triple alliance of Italy, Germany, and Austria-Hungary was broken. So only Germany and Austria-Hungary fought. 15th question, during the course of war, which of the given countries did not join the Entente? So what do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer would be D, India. 16th question, Dash declared war on Germany with the view to capture German colonies in the Far East. So in the Far East, Japan is located. So of course, when Japan saw that Germany was to enter World War, so of course Germany's focus would be more on European and African colonies rather than in the colonies in the Far East. So Japanese saw this as an opportunity to annex more colonies for their uh, betterment. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. 18th, which of the following was part of a Central Powers? So the correct answer in this case would be D. So you had Germany, Austria, and Hungary fighting with each other against the Triple Entente, or the countries that had joined the Triple Entente. When were Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife shot dead? So that would be A, June 28, 1914. 20th question, which of the following countries opposed the French claim over Morocco confirmed by a secret, agreement? So in this case, in this question, the correct answer would be C, Germany. 21st question, what was the name of the group that had performed the dual murder of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife in 1914? This was a Serbian extreme nationalist group known as Black Hand. Austria declared a war on Serbia on. So the correct answer would be July 28, 1914, exactly a month after Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife were assassinated. So this would be C. 23rd question, on which date did Germany declare war on Russia? So this would be on August 1, 1914. A would be the correct answer. 24th question, on August 4, 1914, Britain declared a war upon Germany because she had invaded which of the following countries? C, Belgium. So if you look at both World War One and World War Two, when Germany was on the, you can call, a bad side. So when Germany would rise up in World War One and again in World War Two, one of the first countries to be annexed is Belgium. 25th question, on whose side were Turkey and Bulgaria in the First World War? So this would be D, Germany. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Which of the following statements is correct about alliances during the First World War? What do you think is the correct answer? It would be D, all of the above. Let's look at the following options. So A, the members of alliance were bound to provide military support whenever needed. B, the alliances were kept secret. C, the alliances also made their member countries confident of military support. 27th question, which of the following statements was not correct regarding relations between France and Germany prior to the First World War? France and Germany were old friends. This is wrong. They were the bitterest rivals in Europe. 28th question, in which of the following countries a conference was held to settle terms for peace? So this would be B, Paris. Let's move on to the 29th question. Which of the following countries signed the Paris Peace Settlement of 1919 to 1923? So D, all of these. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The Treaty of Versailles was the main treaty signed on what date? So as I said, remembering dates is extremely important. So Treaty of Versailles was the main treaty which was signed on A, June 18, 1919. 31st question. This was exactly 5 years after after Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife died. That was a spark of the World War One. So many consider this date, June 28, 1914, to be the start of the World War, because this eventually led to events which started the World War One. 31st question, which of the following leaders played an active part in making the terms of peace treaties of the First World War? So D, all of these. 32nd question, which of the following was not one of the main terms of the Treaty of Versailles? Germany was excused to pay any war compensation. This is wrong, so A would be the correct answer. Germany was to pay $33 billion as war compensation. Let's look at the following options also, because these are part of Treaty Versailles, which you have to write in subjective questions that they would ask in the paper. Germany had to evacuate herself from areas she had captured during the war. Evacuate is not uh, the proper word. It is more like give up the areas she had captured during the area. The Rhine Valley area was to be demilitarized. She was compelled to make no construction on both sides of the Rhine Valley. Okay, let's move on to the 33rd question. How many years the German territory to the west of Rhine Valley was to be occupied by the Allied troops? So this would be D, 15 years. 34th question. Which of the following statements is correct about the terms of Treaty of Versailles signed by Germany? So in this case, the correct answer would be D, all of the above. Now let's look at the following options. A, Germany was to return Alsace and Lorraine to France. Germany was to hand over Eupen and Malmedy to Belgium. C, Germany was to hand over the city of Memel to Lithuania. So D would be the correct answer. 35th question. The Treaty of Versailles affirmed the complete independence of which of the countries? So D, all of these. Czechoslovakia, Poland, and Belgium were guaranteed complete independence from Germany. 36th question. Which of the following statements is true about the Treaty of Versailles? Let's look at the following options and see which is the right answer. It brought about peace in the world. This is correct. It evacuated areas like Belgium, which were forcibly occupied by Germany. Many new states like Poland, Finland, Czechoslovakia were created. So D would be the correct answer. 37th question. For Germany, the Treaty of Versailles was unjust, harsh, disgraceful, humiliating, economically crippling, and militarily emasculating because. What do you think is the correct answer? Of course, D would be the correct answer. It was dictated peace. It stripped Germany of its colonial possessions. It enacted enormous compensation in the form of war indemnity. So one of the main causes of Second World War were the Treaty of Versailles and the harsh conditions that it imposed upon the German people and Germany itself. So when you've disgraced a country so bad, the people would eventually rise up to a leader that promises them about earlier glories of the German Empire. And that leader was, of course, Adolf Hitler. So 38th question. Which of the following treaties were broken by Hitler when he came to power in 1933? So Treaty of Versailles was the first treaties which were broken by Hitler when he came to power in 1933. 39th. Violation of which of the following treaties led to the outbreak of the Second World War in 1939? So in this case, the correct answer would be A, Treaty of Versailles. So Hitler broke the Treaty of Versailles, which led to the eventual outbreak of the Second World War in 1939. So one more fact that I would like to add: Second World War in 1939 eventually started with German invasion of Poland. So from that date, I'll just write the date so that you can note it down. September 1, 1939 was a date when Second World War started, because when Germany had annexed Czechoslovakia, when parts of Czechoslovakia, so Britain and France did not do anything. They actually signed an agreement in which Czechoslovakia had to give up territories. And even if Hitler occupied parts of Czechoslovakia that weren't mentioned in the agreements, the Britain and France did not do anything in order to appease Germany. But when they invaded Poland, so Poland was a red line for the Britain and France. So on September 1, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, so Britain and France declared war. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learned and enjoyed this video. This video will be uploaded on IsEqualTo Classes Shabam, so be sure to check this video out. Have a great day. Thanks a lot. Do check out other videos on IsEqualTo Classes Shabam, covering various subjects such as bio, history, geography, physics, chemistry, and bio. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.